Hello, those of you that follow a lot of crafting tutorials on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram and things like that, are probably aware of artist trading coins. This is a new phenomenon that seems to have appeared this year, and they're basically along the lines of an ATC, an artist trading card, but they're round instead of rectangular. They're a 2.5-inch circle. And it's become a really sort of popular thing at the moment to create these either for yourself or to trade with other people in the way that we trade artist trading cards. And I hope this stays around. I hope it's not a flash in the pan and just a one-hit wonder, because I've had a lot of fun making these, and I know a lot of other people have had a lot of fun making these. This is just a selection of some that I've made that I've got just lying around here just to show for examples. Now I make mine using a cutting die. I've got a set of nesting circle dies, and one of them happens to be 2.5 inches across. Some people I know are using a punch. If you've got a punch that's the right size, that's great. And there are companies I know that are doing MDF and sort of chipboard versions of these that you can buy for yourself and then decorate. And they're great fun. These are just some ones that I've collaged, and I cut mine from a piece of grey board. I then decorate the front. I've then decorated the back with a bit of old book paper. But there's lots of things that you can do, and I'm not going to go into that now. There's lots of this about, and at some point I might do a video showing a set of these that I'm making. But I got to thinking the other day, I had a lady comment on one of my other videos. It was a video for this little book that I'd made, and she said that the lady was named Elaine Thornton, and she said she thought that this would be a really good idea for storing the trading coins in. So this little cascading book has got pockets that you can pull out. In this case, I've made like a little tag that goes inside. And it did get me to thinking that yes, this would be a good idea, but there were some things that I wanted to change about it, some improvements that I thought I could make in order that it would be more practical for storing these artist trading coins in. So for those of you who haven't seen this, I'll pop a link up there in the corner to this video, and if I remember, I'll also link it in the description below. So that got me to thinking, and something that I made again a while ago. I've got another video for this ATC storage booklet, and this I'd put the little clear plastic sleeves in for storing ATCs. Now I thought this type of book with an actual spine that was fixed in rather than the cascading one would perhaps be better for these. Plus obviously you can see the ATCs with this little booklet. These are pockets that you can't see into. So I thought I'm going to make something that combines elements from both of these two projects and hopefully come up with something that is a good practical solution for storing some of your favourite artist trading coins. Again, this little ATC book, I'll pop the link to that video up there if you want to take a look at that. And in the meantime, we'll get on with today's project, which, as I say, hopefully will solve some of the problems that both of those projects would have if I wanted to sort of put these into them. So to start with, we're going to need to make some little pockets for our coins. And as I say, these coins are 2.5 inches diameter. So I thought we'll make some pockets that are 3 inches square. That'll give us enough room for manoeuvre if there's any thickness to the coins, because I know, say, some people are using little MDF circles. So you don't want the pockets to be too tight and then not be able to get your coin in and out. So in this instance, our pockets are going to be made from a piece of card that is 6.5 inches by 3.5 inches. And we're going to score it. So we've got a little 1/2 inch tab at one end, and then divide that middle bit, so we've got 2 3-inch areas, and then a 1/2 inch tab at the bottom. And when you've scored that, you can cut away some of the excess. So we just make 2 little tabs, And then we can fold this up, and that would be the basis of our pocket. Now, on my original cascading booklet, obviously it was a solid booklet like pocket like this. This time I want to be able to see the coin that's inside. So rather than making a cardboard pocket and decorating it, I thought I'll make my pocket out of a piece of pattern scrapbook paper. This is a fairly decent weight, it's a double-sided paper. And in order to be able to see my coin, I thought I'll cut a little aperture. So again, using my 2.5-inch die, I've cut a circle out, put a piece of acetate over it, with just used some double-sided tape. And then when we fold this up, we'll be able to see inside our pocket when we pop in our coin. So for this booklet, I'm making 9 of these pockets. So you want to cut 9 at 3.5 inches by 6.5 inches. And on every one, when you've trimmed off the little tabs, you want to cut out your circle using your punch or die, and then pop a piece of acetate behind. Now this is a 3-inch square piece of acetate. I've cut it fractionally smaller than 3 inches square, just so that it doesn't buckle up when I'm folding it up. And then basically we're just going to stick those tabs down with double-sided tape, and then we end up with a whole set of these pockets. And say in this instance I'm making 9. I could have done 10, nice round number, but I'd got enough of this paper to do 9, complete the project. If I'd have done 10, I would have had to find something else to go with it. So in this instance, I'm doing 9 pockets, and I think that's about right sidewise. So I'm just going to stick this one down and finish this one off so that I've got all my 9 complete, and then I'll be right back. Now that we've completed our 9 pockets, it's time to move on to the spine that's going to hold them actually into the booklet. And I'm going to make this in the same way that I did in the ATC storage book, so that instead of it cascading out, they're fixed in the middle of the book. Now I'm going to be making my spine out of the same paper that I've used for the pockets, but just to show you the measurements here, again I have a piece of white card, and we are going to measure it 11 inches across by 2 3/4 inches down, and we're going to score it 1 inch in from each end, and then at 1/2 inch intervals all the way across, so that we can concertina it into almost like a fan. And we've got something that we're going to be able to attach our pages to. So here's the one that I've done on my patterned paper, and I'll now show you how we're going to glue this together, ready for attaching the pages. So what we're going to do is, this is the side that I want to be able to see because it matches my pocket, so I'm going to flip it over, and using double-sided tape or glue, I'm just going to put some on every other one of the sections in the middle. And then we can start to stick the paper together and make these little fins, really, for want of a better description. So as you can see, each time we're just sticking it together, basically from underneath the concertina. And when you've finished, we have something that looks like this. And those are what we're going to be attaching our pages to. And these pieces, the flat pieces, will be attached inside the cover. So obviously we need a cover. And again, here's the measurements for the one that I'm making today. You'll need a piece of card, 7 inches by 3¼ inches. And we're going to score it 3 inches in from each edge, which will create a 1-inch spine in the middle. So I've done that. I've decided I'm going to use a piece of black card. I wanted something quite sturdy, and this is a good weight. I think this is probably something like 360 GSM. It's a nice sturdy card. And I've got some pattern paper to decorate the outside. And I've got a couple of pieces of paper, which is the reverse side of the paper, that I'm going to decorate the inside cover with. Before we stick this on the outside, we need a closure. And on the original book, I had some seam binding. And I think on the ATC book, again, there was some ribbon in there. And I've had a look through my stash. I've got a piece of gingham ribbon. I'm going to use that. And we're just going to stick this on the outside of the cover. Just going to use a little bit of double-sided tape because it's going to be held underneath the patterned paper. But this will just help keep it in place while we're assembling the cover decoration. So just lining that up centrally, that's fine. And then we're just going to take these paper panels. I'm just going to put a bit of double-sided tape on them. You can use glue if that's what you've got. Today I'm just using tape for ease and speed. I haven't got to wait for anything to dry. And I've just trimmed these pieces of paper slightly smaller, just so that I've got a bit of a border. You can make them the same size, it's up to you. You can ink around the edges if you want to. It's entirely up to you how you go about decorating this. So that's our cover with a little ribbon closure there. If we need to trim that down a bit, we can do. I suppose I've cut my ribbon, it's about 1 metre long, I think. So now we're going to open the cover out, and we need to attach our spine inside. And again, I'm going to do this with double-sided tape for now. I would probably suggest using glue if we got a little more time, just for the fact that it will be a stronger fix, and you don't want this to be falling out. But I'm just going to put some tape on the underside of these 1-inch pieces that we've got at the edges. and I'm just going to stick that centrally into the middle there. And you might just need to give it a little bit of a help, just folding back up. But as you can see, we've got all these little fins ready to attach the pages to inside the spine there. So I'm now going to take these two pieces, I don't know which way, I think I'll have the floral side showing again. I'm just going to stick those in place on the inside cover, and that just tidies it up a little bit. So now we're ready to stick our little pockets in. And we want the windows to be facing forwards and the opening to be, I'm going to put the opening on the side. You could have the opening at the top where they drop in, but I do like the putting them in from the side. And again, just going to be using some tape. And this is the one bit that can be a little bit fiddly. Is put some tape on this left-hand side of the fin. And take your pocket and stick it in place, like so. And then we're going to repeat that on the next one. Putting some tape on this left-hand side of the next fin. Taking the next pocket, making sure it's lined up with the first one, and stick it in place. And we're going to continue that all the way through until we've attached all 9 pockets. So there we have it. We've got all our pages attached inside to those little fins there, which allows them to move quite freely. And all that I need to do now is to pop in my artist trading coins. So I'll just fetch those and we'll just slide them in and see if they fit. As you can see, they are a great fit in there. But I think that's a great little idea for taking these with you to maybe to a crop or a swap somewhere, or if you just want to put a little collection of them together, and then we can just fasten the book up with the ribbon closure. And we've got somewhere lovely to store our artist trading coins. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. We're always looking for ideas to store our collections and display our collections. And I think that I've managed to combine some of the best points of previous projects to make something suitable for these really, really cool artist trading coins. So if you enjoyed the video, as always, please leave me a thumbs up. Check out the links to the previous 2 videos that I've done if you haven't already. Subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any future videos. And I'll be back again soon with some more crafting tutorials. Bye!